Welcome to BotSailor. This is Nahiam. In today's video, we'll guide you on how to display your Shopify categories and products in WhatsApp list messages. Please note that WhatsApp list messages can display up to 10 products at a time. To work around this, we'll first show a list of categories. Once a category is selected, we'll display the products within that category in the WhatsApp list messages. Let's get started. The Shopify store features 3 categories or collections, each containing multiple products. In the WhatsApp bot, we'll first display the list of collections. Once a collection is selected, we will showcase the products within that collection. Using this approach, we can display up to 100 products through the chatbot efficiently. From the BotSailor dashboard, navigate to the Bot Manager section. Ensure the bot reply option is selected. Then click the Create button. This will open the Visual Flow Builder. Double-click on the Get Started element. Add keywords and assign a name to it. Then save it. Let's add a general text reply. Double-click on it and add text. Next, we will use the HTTP API element to fetch data from the Shopify store using an endpoint URL. Let's add the HTTP API element alongside the text reply. Double-click on it and click the Create button. This will take you to the HTTP API module. Click the Create button again. Using this HTTP API, we'll fetch all the collection from the Shopify store and display them using the list item feature. Assign a name to the HTTP API and select the Get method. Next, we need to add a test subscriber ID. This subscriber ID will be used to test the bot. I will test the bot using my own WhatsApp account, so I will use my subscriber ID as the test subscriber ID. To obtain the test subscriber ID, navigate to the subscriber manager. Copy the subscriber ID and paste it in the required fields. Now we need to add the endpoint URL. We will retrieve it from the Shopify developer documentation. This endpoint URL format to get the list of collections is provided there. Simply append your personal Shopify URL to the format and use it as the endpoint URL. Let's add it to BotSailor. I'll include this information in the description. Next, we need to add header data. Click on the Add button. Set content type as the header key. Select the header type as static value and enter application JSON as the header value. We also need another header. Click on the Add button again. For the header key, enter X-Shopify-Access-Token. The header type will also be static value. For the header value, add the access token from the Shopify. To get the access token, go to Shopify and navigate to Settings. Select App and Sales Channel. Then click on Develop Apps. Click on the Create button and assign a name to the app. Click Create App again and the app will be created. Next, click on the Configure Admin API Scopes and grant read and write permission for both product listings and products. Then go to the app setting and click on the Install App button. This will generate an API access token. Click on the Refill access token. Copy the token and paste it to BotSailor. Finally, scroll down and click on the Verify Connection button. BotSailor will fetch the raw data from this collection. By clicking on the Load Data button, we can confirm that the data has been successfully fetched from the Shopify store. Next, we need to map the data. Click on the Add button. In the Map field, select a custom field where the raw data will be saved initially. To create a custom field, go to BotSailor Subscriber Manager. Click on the Manage Custom Field option. Then click on the Create button. Assign a name to the custom field. Select the reply type as text. Save it. Afterward, click on the Refresh button. Then select the newly created custom field. In the map value, select the custom collections. Finally, click on the Save API button. Yes, the HTTP API has been successfully created. Now, let's return to the bot building process. Click on the Refresh button Then select the HTTP API we just created. At this point, we have the data for custom collections. We just need to display it in a list message. Next, add an interactive element to the bot. Fill in the header text and body text. Add a list message and give it a name. Provide a title for the section. Let's keep only one row element since this will be dynamic. Double-click on the row element and select the row generation method as dynamic. Then select the custom field for the dynamic row. Here, choose the custom field where the JSON data of the custom collection is stored. Remember, the custom field we selected earlier during the data mapping process? Select that same one field where the data for the custom collection is saved. Now, we need to add the key or index for the dynamic row title. If we examine the raw data, we can see that the key used for the title of the collection is title. Therefore, we will input title in the raw title field. In the body field, to include data from JSON, we need to use the custom field enclosed in hashtags and utilize an arrow to navigate to the specific key. Now, we need to add a custom field to store the selected list item. When subscribers click on any Shopify product collection from the list, we must save the collection ID in the custom field. This is essential because using this collection ID, we can display the products under that collection by utilizing another HTTP API. Click on the Add New button, give a name to the custom field, and set the type to text. Next, select the custom field from the list. Then, set the key for the value to be saved in the custom field. In this case, we'll save the collection's ID. Now, let's add a text reply. Adding a reply is necessary because in the next step, we'll create another HTTP API to fetch products and display them in a list. Double-click on the text element and enter some text. Set the bot and trigger it to save sample data to the custom field. Sample data will be required to set up the next HTTP API. Now, if we check the subscriber's custom field data, we can see that the data has been successfully saved to the custom fields. This custom field data can be used in the HTTP API to display the products of the selected collection. Let's go back to the Visual Flow Builder, add another HTTP API element along with the text reply. Click on the Create button to create an HTTP API that will list the products of the selected collection. Click on the Create button again, assign a name to the HTTP API. Select the method as GET and enter the test subscriber ID. For the endpoint URL, refer to the developer documentation. This is the endpoint URL to retrieve the products of a collection. We have already prepared our endpoint URL, so let's add it there. We just need to use the custom field instead of collection ID. The custom field, we have the collection ID set. Copy the custom field and paste into the collection ID parameter. Next, we need to add headers, just as we did in the previous HTTP API. Everything will remain the same as in the previous HTTP API header. Click on the Verify Connection button and review the raw data. The product's data has been successfully fetched from Shopify. Now, let's map the HTTP API responses. In the map value, select Products, and in the map field, choose a custom field where the data will be saved. If a suitable custom field doesn't exist, go back to the Subscriber Manager and create one. After creating the custom field, click on the Refresh button and select the newly created custom field. Finally, click on the Save API button. Now, let's return to the Flow Builder. Click on the Refresh button and select the HTTP API we just created. Add an interactive element and provide the header text and body text. After that, add the list message. Assign a name to the list message and give a name to the selection. Remove all rows except one. Double-click on the remaining row and set the row type to dynamic. Then select the custom field for the dynamic row. This custom field contains the JSON data of the products in the collection. Next, select the key for the row title. To do this, navigate to the raw data and copy the key you want to use as a title. For the row description, you can also use dynamic data to display product details by selecting the appropriate key. In the Save Selection field, we need to add a custom field where the product handle will be saved. This allows us to send the product's URL to the customer. Click the Add New button. Assign a name to the custom field. Set the type to text. Then select the custom field from the drop-down list. Next, add the key for the saved value. In this case, we'll save the handle of the product. Once done, save the configuration. Now I'll add a text reply. In the text reply, I'll write a thank you message and include the URL of the product. The product handle in the URL will be dynamic. To do this, copy a product URL from the Shopify store and paste it into the text reply. Replace the product handle in the URL with the custom field where the selected product's handle is stored. Ensure there are no unwanted spaces or line breaks in the URL. Save the text reply and finally save the bot. That's it. Let's test this now. Great! The chatbot provided in the product URL works perfectly. This demonstrates how we can use the HTTP API to first display collections. Upon selecting a collection, we can show a list of products to the subscribers. They can then select a product, receive its URL, and proceed to purchase it from your Shopify store. That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video.